and welcome back to another episode of our Perfect Sim Challenge. We are here with our main sim and we have actually just moved into a new area. She was living in Ravenwood, but she has recently moved into like a homeless area in Evergreen Harbor, and so we are going to be seeing her in her new area and seeing her get kind of set up in her life here. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to have her meet this person. This is Nox. As we know, she does have to do all mean interactions, so she is just needing to get her mischief skill up. So I am just going to have her do some rude introductions with Nox, and we are going to go ahead and try to get her to meet that mischief interaction of having some Sims dislike her, because she does have to have 2 Sims dislike her currently. And so we are going to go ahead and get that taken care of for Paisley here. Basically what she's doing is trying to get Nox to dislike her. Usually Nox is pretty good about liking people. He just wants them obviously to take care of the environment, and he tries to sell them on that. But she, being a mischievous sim and being working on trying to do the Chief of Mischief aspiration, obviously has to make enemies, and so she's going to be really rude. She's just going to obviously kind of get on his nerves. She's going to yell at him. She's going to kind of insult him. And I think she's going to be like telling him, you know, oh, well, I understand that you want me to conserve energy and you want me to be green and you want me to do all these things, but like, buddy, I'm homeless. Like, open your eyes. You know, clearly you can see that I don't really have a whole lot going for me. So how can you be so out of it that you would come to me and be like, oh, you need to be green? Like, clearly your wits aren't about you. And I think she's just going to be really rude to him, and it's going to go ahead and solidify her mischief here. We're going to obviously build that skill up as she is being mischievous and mean to him. They are obviously not getting along well. Their relationship is definitely going up in the red here, and we are just going to continue on with some negative interactions in the hopes that she is going to be able to have someone to dislike her. And being that she is a teen, obviously this is going to make her responsibility and her other, like her empathy and all of those traits go down. And so that's not necessarily a good thing, being that she's a teenager and she's losing all of those kind of skills or traits. But, you know, it is what it is. So we are going to also, once she has made an enemy out of Nox, we're going to have her come on down in this area where she's now residing, in this homeless area. I'm going to obviously, you know, show you what it looks like and everything like that, but we're going to come down here. She does have some planters down here in this area, so we are going to go ahead and purchase some seeds, and we're going to open up those packets, and we are going to plant some things in these planters so that we can go ahead and start getting a little bit of gardening skill. And obviously she will have some things planted so that she can start growing her own food, because as we know, she will need things to eat and things like that. And also it will bring her extra funds, because she doesn't have a whole lot in the way of money. When she started off, she only had the 2,000 simoleons, and currently right now she only has, I think, what, 600 and something. So she doesn't have a whole lot of money, and so obviously we will want to sell the fruits and vegetables that she grows to make extra money, but also she'll use that for food, for cooking, and or just to eat out of her inventory when she is getting hungry. Obviously, being that she's in Evergreen Harbor now, she will be able to go dumpster diving for meals and or deals, and so that's going to help her to find things as well for money and for food. We definitely want her to gain some gardening skill and to be able to grow things on her own. So we are going to go ahead and get that taken care of. And then once she has done some gardening, we will take a look around in her little area here. But as you can see, she does have, you know, this shelter that she's kind of stumbled upon. You know, she was in Ravenwood, and that is kind of originally where I set her up. But I thought maybe it would be better to move her into this homeless area here in Evergreen Harbor, because she wasn't able to meet anybody other than ghosts, and I did want her to be able to meet people that are actually alive. And so I thought, you know what, it'll be better if I move her into Evergreen Harbor. She can live in this homeless area that's already set up, and you know, that'll be all well and good for her. in the sense of her being able to meet people, because as we know, it's already kind of set up for a situation like this, being that it's a homeless area. She lives up under a bridge, this homeless setup here. There's the dumpsters that she can jump into, and so it really is just a good area for a story like this, kind of rags to riches based, and it'll get her away from everybody being ghosts, because she wasn't able to meet anybody that wasn't going to be a ghost. And even though she's not necessarily looking for love or anything like that, if in the future she does decide that she wants to find a relationship, she's going to need to have people that she can be in a relationship with that are living, and she's just not going to have that opportunity being in Ravenwood. So I did go ahead and move her out here. Now that she has gone ahead and she has planted these things and watered these things, we are just going to make sure that she has her needs in a good place. And if she does, we will go ahead and let her maybe work on a little bit of skills. I know I did see an easel down here, so she could possibly work on some painting, and we can get her working on some painting skill. I think also down here we have a guitar, so she could work on maybe a little bit of music skill, and hopefully that will, you know, help her as well. She doesn't necessarily have any certain skills that she has to work on in this first part. Really, she just has to max her Chief of Mischief skill and any things that go with that. So obviously Mischief has to be maxed out, but other than that, there's nothing kind of that needs to be maxed out. She does go to school, so I will have her do her homework and things like that, but she doesn't have any other skills. So anything else that she does outside of her Mischief is just another skill and trait that she's kind of picking up on her own, which is just going to benefit her as a person and make her overall a better sim. And as we know, she is trying to be a perfect sim, so that's going to help her in the long run when she moves on to her next aspiration for the next part, because we don't know exactly what that's going to entail. And so obviously any skill or any trait that she does pick up, it's going to really help her for her future. So I am going to have her try to do different things to make her a little bit more well-rounded. So we will definitely work on her Chief of Mischief, though. I know she has had Nox dislike her, so she does have to obviously have one more person dislike her for her to check off this first portion of the Chief of Mischief and move into the second portion. And then we will try to, you know, work towards completing that Chief of Mischief aspiration for her, so that we can go ahead and complete that first part here, which is going to be great. So she is currently working on this painting. I am going to have her, when she's done with that, just come and maybe get some cooking started so that she can have some things cooked up. She's not too hungry right now, but I do think at some point she will maybe start getting hungry. So we do want to go ahead and have some food ready for her to eat for whenever she does get hungry, and obviously have that ready. And then we'll probably go up and see if there's any people kind of milling about. And if there is, we'll try to do some more introductions and some more interactions and see if we can have her meet some more people and have some more people dislike her. That is our ultimate goal here. So we will definitely go ahead and do some of that. But for now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to let her light this bonfire, because it is Simpendence Day. And so we do need to celebrate some of these holiday actions so that she can definitely go ahead and get credit for that and have herself a great time. So she's just going to play in this fire here. She did go ahead and barbecue, so she got credit for that. And now she's lit a bonfire, so she's got credit for that. She also wants to light some fireworks, and while I would really love for her to be able to do that, unfortunately we don't have any fireworks for her to kind of set off, so she's not going to be able to meet that. But it does look like her doing the 2 things out of 3 has gone ahead and checked everything off for her Simpendence Day holiday. And so she is going to have a successful day for that, which is going to be fantastic. So once she has completed this playing in the fire, I'm just going to have her go ahead and get herself a bite to eat. And then once she's finished eating, we'll have her go on up on the bridge there, and we'll have her meet someone else so that she can hopefully go ahead and find someone else that could potentially dislike her. I don't think that's going to be very difficult for her, considering the fact that only thing she can do right now is do mean interactions. I know originally I had said, oh, well, I'm not going to have her just do mean interactions, because I do want her to meet friends and things like that. But I think her second trait or aspiration is that she wants to be a friend of the world. So I think if she only does mean interactions for this first portion of her life, that'll be okay, because in the second portion of her life, after this is complete, this chief of mischief aspiration is complete, then she's going to want to be a friend of the world. So she's going to kind of turn things around, which I think is going to make a lot of sense. Like, if you think about it, her parents literally just died suddenly out of nowhere. So she's angry, she's grieving, she's hurt, she feels betrayed by the world. So I think she is going to want to, take that out on anyone and everyone around her. It's going to make her angry. It's going to make her bitter. It's going to make her mean. So it would make sense that she would kind of be a little bit mean, a little bit angry, a little bit mischievous in her interactions with others, because she's untrusting. She is, feeling betrayed. She's feeling like life is unfair. She doesn't understand why she's having to, be homeless and living this life now when she had two very loving parents that were stolen from her. So I think it makes a lot of sense that she would kind of be in this position where she is mischievous and she is on the borderline mean. So I think it makes perfect sense that she would be acting this way, and she would be acting out. Even though she wants to be a perfect sim, she wants to do really well by her parents, and she wants to, be this perfect person. I think that in the beginning, she's struggling. She is really, really struggling with their loss. She's really struggling with being on her own and trying to find her footing. And I think that, all of that's coming into play, and you can see that in her interactions with, not only other people, but in how she is just when she's on her own. She is a mess. She's grieving. She is homeless. She just doesn't know heads from tails right now. And so she is having a rude introduction with this gentleman, and she's going to mock him. She's going to insult him. And she's going to be really, really rude, because that is just the only way she knows how to really act right now, because she just is angry at the world. So she is going to, definitely be really rude, and she's going to shove him, and she's going to do just really rude behaviors with him, and we are going to try to make ourselves another enemy. And I think he is really not going to be appreciative of the way she's treating him. She's going to try to lie to him about her career, and she's going to do all kinds of things, tell him preposterous stories and rumors and things like that. And I don't think that he's going to appreciate the way she talks to him and the way that she treats him. And I think, as you can see, their relationship is in the red. It is continuing to go up in the red, because he's thinking to himself, this young girl, this teen girl is just off, like she's out of her mind. And he doesn't appreciate how she's treating him. Like, as you can see, he's an older gentleman, and he just doesn't appreciate how she's talking to him, how she's treating him. And he's thinking to himself, kids these days need to have more respect for their elders, and he doesn't understand how she could end up this way. Why didn't her parents teach her to be better, to treat people better? And he's obviously, judging her without knowing what all she's gone through. But unfortunately, that is what it is. So I am just going to continue to allow them to have these negative interactions together, and hopefully they will be able to get their relationship up higher in the red so that we can have him dislike her. I do think that she's going to continue to yell at him. She's going to continue to fight with him and rile him up in hopes that they can go ahead and become enemies. And as you can see, her mischief level is just soaring, and we absolutely love that. So she has checked that off on her Chief of Mischief aspiration, that she has met that level 3 or level 4 mischief, which we absolutely love. So that's wonderful. But now we just need to get that second person to dislike us. And he's like trying to walk away. He's like, I'm not going to put up with this. You're not going to treat me like that. And she's like, where do you think you're going? I wasn't done with you. So she's chased him down so that she can continue to insult him, continue to put him down. And he's like, you are the rudest child I have ever met. And she's like, well, you're just an uncool adult, and you don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, I do know what I'm talking about. Like, you're extremely rude. But she doesn't seem to care. She's not bothered by the fact that he is offended. And as you can see, they are becoming quickly enemies. they're just becoming enemies. I think she is going to actually deem him that he is going to become an enemy of hers, which, as we know, is going to mean that he definitely does dislike her. And unfortunately, that does not, though, mark it off that she is disliked by two people. Even though I think once he becomes her enemy, it really should have marked off that he dislikes her, but it didn't. So I don't really know why that is. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to maybe meet a third person and have a third person dislike her, but I may have to do that because it, for whatever reason, even though they are now declared enemies with one another, it did not mark it off that she has two people that dislike her. So I may have her go ahead and go on and take care of some of her needs, and then we'll try to go ahead and let her meet a third person to have someone else dislike her so we can move on to the next category in our Chief of Mischief. Look, he just threw a drink in her face. He's like, "You are the rudest person I've ever met." She's like, "Ugh, I can't believe you would throw a drink in my face." And he's like, "Well, you're my enemy and you're rude, and I'm just not putting up with your nonsense any longer." And she's thinking, fine. So I think she's going to go ahead. She is, trying to scare him. And he's like, "You're not scary. I just can't stand you." So she's going to go ahead, and she has officially declared him as her enemy. As you can see here, they are despising one another. And you can see here that it does not mark it off that that he dislikes her. And I don't know why that is. But we are definitely going to send her down. She's going to take care of some of her needs. And later on, we will hopefully be able to go ahead and have her meet someone else that she can find to dislike her. It shouldn't be that difficult because she's actually becoming quite the pro at this. She really is. So we're definitely going to have her go ahead and be able to continue on with being despised and being disliked by other people. But as you can see, Knox definitely dislikes her, and this new gentleman, he is a enemy of hers, and they dislike one another. So, but on the tracker itself, it shows that only one person dislikes her. So we will definitely continue on with the story here and trying to get someone else to dislike her to check that off. But for now, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to have her come on down here. It looks like she wants to start a fire, but I'm not going to have her do that. Instead, I am just going to probably get her to have a little bit of rest. It is getting pretty late, so we are going to let her just get a little bit of sleep. And then in the morning, we will be able to go ahead and let her meet some more people. So let's go ahead and get her some rest, and I'll see you when she wakes. So as you can see, Paisley is up. She is enraged. She is really, really upset because her parents are gone. These feelings are really, really bothering her. Also, she's, feeling some rage from the argument that she had with her enemy. But mostly her rage is coming from the fact that her parents are gone, that the world is unfair to her, that she has lost her parents, and that she's having to do life without them. And as I said, she's really struggling with dealing with life and being homeless without her parents. And like I said, it's just really affecting her more than she thought it would. And, on top of her grieving, on top of her being sad about it, also she's just flat out enraged about it. And it's causing her to really struggle in her life, not only in just being sad, but in being angry. And she is, struggling to take care of herself. She's struggling to make friends. She's struggling to interact with people. I'm going to have her come on over here. She's going to stomp over here to this guitar. I'm going to have her play a little bit. Maybe she can kind of calm herself down a little bit. And obviously it'll give her a little bit of guitar skill as well. So maybe we can kill two birds with one stone. But she's going to go ahead and play a little bit. And then we're going to also take a look around upstairs, on the ground level there. And we're going to look and see if there's anybody around that she can maybe talk to and maybe build a little bit of dislike with. Also, there are some dumpsters up here, so we can maybe take a chance at trying to dig for deals and things like that. But I do want her obviously trying to meet people. There are some people around, so we'll have her go ahead and do some of those things when she gets a chance after she has taken some time to play a little bit of guitar, which it looks like she did. It did not really calm her down quite as much as I had kind of hoped, but yeah. It is summer vacation for her, so she does not have school right now, so she is off, which, you know, I would say normally is a good thing, but right now she just has so much kind of time on her hands. And with her being as angry as she is with her losing her parents, that's not necessarily a good thing. But we're going to have her go ahead. She is going to come over here and she's going to dive for deals and see if there's anything in this dumpster that she can maybe find. And then if there's anybody that kind of starts walking around in the neighborhood, we'll have her go ahead and introduce herself. And obviously it'll be a rude interaction, but she is going to try to meet some people and see if she can start a bit of a relationship with them. It is definitely going to be a negative one. She is trying to find that second person to dislike her, but you know, honestly, she's not really caring about that. She's not even thinking about that. She is having such a bad day. She is so enraged today. She is just really, really struggling with the fact that her parents are gone, and she's just really not liking life. But she is gonna hopefully find some things here in this dumpster, and we're gonna hope that she's able to find some good things for her house that she can maybe sell, which is gonna bring her a little bit more money, which is great. So we did breed some frogs, and we do, as we know, have our extra vegetables and fruits in our inventory that she had purchased the seeds from. So that's wonderful. So it does look like she did find something in the bin, but I think it went into her household inventory. So we may have to look at that in another time. I'm just going to kind of let that stuff stockpile, and then we'll sell everything off at once. But for now, we'll just let that stuff start collecting for her. And I'm going to have her come over here and harvest these soybeans. And then hopefully by that point, we'll have somebody in the neighborhood that she can maybe meet. It doesn't look like really anybody has come around, which is really, you know, not necessarily a good thing, because I really do want her to meet some people. But hopefully by the time she gets over here to pick these soybeans, someone will have come around. Oh, look, there's someone. Okay, great. So we're going to go ahead and have her meet this gentleman. We're going to do a rude interaction as well. And we're going to have her get to know him, and hopefully she'll be able to get him to dislike her a little bit. And we'll be able to make him the second person that dislikes her. I'm hoping that she can do that pretty quickly, and we will be able to mark off that second person as the person that dislikes her, to go ahead and mark that off as her meeting that goal for the first step here of our aspiration being met. And I don't think it's going to take her very long to be able to do that, because she, like I said, she's not having a great day. She's already shoving him. Like, who meets a person and right off the bat is just like, let me shove you? Paisley. Paisley's the one that does that. Yes, she does. So she has shoved him, and instantly their relationship has skyrocketed, and he does not like her. Okay, so she has made that first level milestone complete. They do not like each other. He dislikes her already. We love that. And she's like, whatever, I don't care. I don't really like you either. Yeah, we love it. We absolutely love that. But I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode with Paisley, where she is going to be continuing to work on her Chief of Mischief aspiration. She is going to need to work on the computer, so we will be getting her a computer so she can work on that. I do think she has a little bit of money, so we'll just get her a refurbished one, and she'll be able to take it off the lot, and we will hopefully be able to build up on her mischief there that way. But until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.